Hey, this is Jake Berry with Cabin Fever and 956preps.com. And I've got a blast from the past coming in today. And it's Fred Villarreal from Brownsville Vets, then Houston, and now a Major League ball player for the in the minors with the
Yeah,
Seattle
yeah,
Mariners.
yes, sir. Yeah, man, it's a true blessing. I know I know I've had you on Twitter for a while, but I know we haven't interacted since the old high school days out there at Brownsville Veterans, man. But it's an honor to keep playing ball. Although right now, we're kind of in the crisis, but it's crazy, man. I was like legit about to on Friday the 13th. Um, I was supposed to pitch against the Dodgers. I mean, not pitch, but come in they always choose like a couple players to go like just in case. It's called JIC, yeah, just in
Mhm.
case. And I saw my name on the list against the Dodgers on Friday the 13th of March, and it was hitting Thursdays, and we're all in the clubhouse, and then we're seeing all these reports about the coronavirus, and just kept on. It was like blasting ESPN. It was like it kept on being talked about more. I'm like, and I had that thought like quick to my head. I'm like, there's no way I'm playing Friday. I mean, at this pace, I think it all started with trying to cancel, all of March, and then it just kept on going. But um, they sent me my flight information on Friday the 13th to go home. So long story short, spring break was banged, but I mean, they're saying that they're planning to have us report all the teams in Arizona and play there. So yeah,
Did they give you a timetable on when that would happen?
they still haven't even told us. It's all up in the air. I think the first approach that MLB is trying to do is trying to get public health officials to sign something that we could play without fans, but that's still up in the air. Like they haven't told us anything, but yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens with that. I mean, I just hope we're all safe and it could stop, but as of now, I mean, I don't know at this pace, man, but it's
Let me
tough.
ask you that. Let me ask you this: like, how I'm, you got to roll with the punches when you're in baseball. Sometimes you're going to be a starter, sometimes you're going to be a reliever. For you, what did you learn in high school or growing up that got you kind of prepared for this? Because just like this, you got to kind of roll with the punches.
Absolutely.
What did you
No,
learn growing up?
I'm so glad. I mean, as you know, I had the chance out of high school to play pro ball or to play at Houston, and it was, a hard choice, but I'm glad I chose Houston because, I really grew up as a person, and you got school, you got playing at the same time, practice, tutors, all this stuff. And I think the main thing I took out of the whole thing is control what you can control. Like what can I control? I can't control that, there's a virus out there, and but what I can control is like the work I do in my yard, like all that type of stuff. I just see it as, okay, can I control that? Okay. And at times when you're playing, I mean, as a pitcher, for the most part, you have to control what you can't control. You can't control an error. You can't control the weather, but you can control how you approach it. I also, this like term I could go by is um, E plus R equals O. It's the event plus the response equals the outcome. So the event could be an error. I could say, oh man, like just be all mad about it or sad. I'm like, okay. I'm like, now all I say if like things, hit the fan, I'm like, so what? Good. And that's because I mean, this is a hard game. And I've learned that, you could be at the top at one point and then you could just fall down. You could go as a hitter 4 for 4 and then, have a hat trick, I don't know. That's just how it is. It's a hard game. And all I could do is control what I could control. So that's how I kind of approach things. I mean, I approach all things like that now. It's not even in the game. It's just what can I control. I mean, there's things that happen in our lives that we just can't control. Like this virus. So that's
How was it on the road, in the minors? Like, 'cause, everybody makes their way up,
oh
even
yeah.
when you're a stud, you have to make your way up. How's it
Oh,
been?
always. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. I mean, on our team, we had the first rounder there. We got the whole draft class, and well, I think I mean it was tough because so after my season at Houston, I got drafted, and then I went straight there, and we went straight into season mode like all right, it was 84 games with only 4 off days. So we'd play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday home, and then we're on the road the next day. There's times where I've pitched where we've had a road trip, came back at 4 a.m. and I had a pitch. We had a report at the field like at 11 a.m. and I had to pitch that game. It's tough, but again, like what comes into that, how I see it, control what I can control. That I can't control. That's just how it is. So, and I've learned to not act how I feel. At times, you're tired, but not one person cares in the stands. You just have to, again, how you say, roll with the punches and adjust quick. That's how it is. I mean, you just have to adjust fast. That's just how it is, man.
Well,
So
why do you think it is that in the Valley, other places in the state are afraid of us in baseball and soccer? Why do you think those are the two sports that have seemed to pull the most success?
to be quite honest, man, I think it's just in our blood. I mean, just plain and simple, people from out here in the valley are a breed, man. Like it's just hard. I mean, in these two sports, and it's just in our blood. That's why I try to promote the sport a lot more to people because I mean, I'm not saying it's a wasted time to play all other sports, but I'm saying like to be real, I mean, let's say you're trying to hoop at a tier 1 school. Like, okay, if you're not over 6 feet, I mean, come on, man. Like, if we're being real, and that's why I'm glad I'm playing this sport because it's not about size, and that's just how it is, man. It's genes. I feel like, I mean, if you turn on the TV and you're in season, it's all like Latin players. I mean, that's just how it is. I feel like it's in our blood. You're playing soccer. That's also in our blood. So yeah, that's what I got on that.
You played big time club ball growing up too, plus a good Brownsville Vets team. But then you got to college. What was it like when you got to college? As far as did you feel like you were on the same level with everybody else?
Yes, yes, because I knew I had put in all of the work I could, and I've already learned. I mean, one thing I took. I mean, I'm glad. Like as soon as after high school hit, I got more into into the whole mind game, and that's just how it is. I mean, there's times where you could be all up in your own head, and but I just trusted the fact that I trained hard and I put in all of what I could and what I can control, and I just like knew I just carried me with a huge chip on my shoulder, like okay, like I put in the work, I trusted all of my training. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I got people
That happens to me all the time. So
yeah. But yeah, I mean I just carried a huge chip. Just the fact where, I'm from here. There's not a ton of people from around here who get that chance. And I knew I had to, train hard for it. So although to be quite honest, as a freshman, I came in there. I'll tell you what, I couldn't throw a strike. Plain and
Really?
simple. No, check this out. I got into freshman year and the first fall as a freshman just couldn't throw a strike. Like the speed was there, but just couldn't throw a strike. And, again, this is where I had to get into like the whole mind game and just like, okay, look, Fred, like, you at times you just have to talk to yourself, like, and I was like, okay, I've trained my entire life for this. Like, why? Like, what is up with me? Like, I don't know how to. I've thrown strikes all my entire career. I like, what is the problem with me? I'm like, okay, and then I flipped the switch when I was like, we're up. We're already in season as a freshman, and they put me in when the score was like 12 to like 1 or like, and I was actually like the last freshman to pitch in a game, the last freshman to pitch, and then the freshman to pitch the most that year. And it's
Wow.
crazy. Yeah. And I'm not saying I'm not a practice guy, but as soon as I'm in there in the spot, I threw about 40 summit innings with only like 8 walks. So, and also like I had people, that year we won the conference championship, and I pitched on TV on ESPN when we're in the postseason, and it was unreal. And I had people telling me, "Dude, you're on ESPN," and yeah, it was crazy. But all it took was that like little like switch, because I could have, after that fall, after playing terribly, said, "Man, that's it. I'm a hang them up and that's it." But I was like, "No, man, I've trained my entire life for this. Like, why?" So it's crazy how the mind is, it's the most powerful tool there is. So yeah, that's how that went. So
So when you got to college, when you were at Brownsville Vets, you were a starter.
yes,
What was the transition like from to go into relief?
it was not fun because well, yeah, I mean, when you start, you got all the time in the world at your own pace, but my first time as a freshman, they're like, "Fred, hot." And I was just like slowly playing catch. And they're like, "Fred, quicker." And I was like, I was like, "What's going on?" And then it took a while, because I mean, at times when I pitched this past year against Texas A&M, I got hot into the game in 4 throws. Now I say 4 throws because 4 throws, not pitches. I just grabbed the ball and I launched it. And well, yeah, it's just how it is, man. You just have to adjust quick and just have to flip the switch quick. That's why it was also tough, because I mean, you're out there in the pen, it's a long game, and at any time you can be Fred hot now. Like at first it was like, all right, Fred, you have all the time in the world. You got about 2 hours. And now it's like, hey, Fred, quick. So yeah, it took me a while though, but I mean, yeah, that is fixed.
Well, I'm looking right here. You ended last season with a 2.29 ERA, and
Yeah.
when Seattle picked you up in the draft, what did they tell you? What did they see out of you, and what do they want you to do for
They're more of a org that is into people who just control the zone. As in, like, so their our first rounder, Kirby, he threw 100 and 100 and like 20 some innings with only like 4 walks.
them?
Yep.
Wow.
And yeah, we're more of a org that, is locked in more on, yeah, trying to control the zone. Not into people with, I mean, I'm not saying hard velo isn't good, but we're a lot more into people who are, throw strikes. That's it,
Mhm.
and yeah, and it's crazy because now I'm at a, place where I'm learning all about like spin rate and all this type of stuff I didn't even know was out there, all this like high tech stuff. It's crazy. Like they like put you on slow mo and hand grips and all that. Like it's crazy. Like yeah, all that. I didn't know anything about that in high school. So
How many pitches do you have now?
I have four. I have my now my main pitch is a sinker, which is my fastball. But yeah, that's why that's the pitch that got me to where I'm at, because you could throw as hard as whoever, just high 90s, but if that ball is flat, you will get hit. And that's why I try to tell all these young pitchers around here in the valley, like, it's good to have that velo, but you just have, like, at some point in your life as you like excel, you have to move the ball, and also make the ball move. It's plain and simple. I've seen pitchers who are like in the high 80s who just control the zone and are good, and are playing up in the league. So it's crazy. It's all about how you spin the ball, honestly. But yeah, in high school I would just no straight fastballs on. Yeah, but yeah, and no, from high school to college was probably the hardest, like, because in high school I would just blow it. Just okay, like people knew a fastball was coming, but people couldn't catch up to it. But it comes to a point where if it's there, people will take that 400 center. So yeah, so I know
So,
that's why it was like probably what hit me my freshman fall, because I would just throw fastballs and expect to like blow it by everyone. These people were on it. I'm like, okay. So yeah, I mean, it was a crazy like change from high school, and that's why I'm trying to promote the sport a lot more, because when you see like high school teams in Houston, they're all very good, and they're good. They play against good teams. If all the teams in the valley were good, that would even like raise up, I mean, put all this on the map, because I mean that's all it takes. It was a hard, even for me, and I knew I had like that in me, but like to just, it's all about your competition too. Like I knew in high school, against teams I would just fastballs, and all of them knew it. But let's say I was playing a team who was like good, and be like, okay, I have to like lock in hard here, and just it's not the same. So that's why I love to promote the sport around here, so it could grow, and feel like that's like one thing that we need,
all
so
right. Well, I got two off the wall kind of questions for you. Let's
go
see.
for it.
Let's see how you answer it. Okay. When you got your when you got your contract from the Mariners, what was the first thing you bought?
Mm. um First thing I got a brand new paint job on my car. It's like candy painted, and also this Mac laptop is sick. It's rose gold, and this chain here, and that's it. And then
Uh,
I I have plenty invested, so
oh, that's good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good not to spend that money, especially
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
what I just okay, and that's why so I could have just came home and just like chose to not like train kids and stuff, but it's just the fact that, I'm trying to grow this sport too. It's not, I mean, I don't know. I feel like, and I also used a lot. No, actually the first purchase was I bought like all these posters so I could promote me in case like kids out here need training. Look, there's actually one right on that wall. Yeah, it's okay. I spent a lot on shirts. I had a couple camps out here for kids, so I spent like a lot on that. And well, yeah, that's probably it. I mean, there's not. I mean, I could right now. It's because I'm not sure where to have a house at, first of all. But I feel like I might have it like I want one here in the valley, but I'm not, I'm not sure yet. I haven't. I'm 22 years old, and I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
you got plenty of time to work on that.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah. Also, a lot of protein too. Protein is, yeah, have to fuel the Lambo. You know what I'm saying? Always.
All right. All
Yeah.
right. The last question I have is this one for you, and I'd like to have you come back and we'll talk players down here and see where they rank in as far as you, like where you see these players.
Yeah.
But no, here's the question I have. When you were in high school, who's the one person that you didn't want to face, or the hardest person you had to face?
Hmm. In high school, it would be are you saying here in the valley?
Yeah, here in the valley. So like when you were in high school at Brownsville Vets. I know you guys had a killer year that year, so
Yeah, no,
but
yeah. I'm trying to think. It was for sure my close friend out there who played at PSJ. His name is Christian Sanchez. He and I faced him a lot after high school when we played against him at TSU. And that kid always had some pop, dude. And he's playing pro out there in Mexico, I think. But that dude, I don't know how that kid did not get drafted. I mean, I've played with him and against him since I was like about 12, and the guy was always a damn tank, huge, and would hit absolute rockets. And that guy was probably like, I would throw my nastiest stuff foul. I'm like, dang, man. Okay. But it was probably him. So, yeah. Christian Sanchez, he played at PSJ. Yep.
yeah, I remember the name. All
Yep.
right, well, I guess look, here's our parting question for tonight.
Yeah.
What's the one thing you've been watching since the coronavirus hit? What's the one thing on Netflix that
Well, the first thing I saw is Tiger King. Dude, and I saw this at Target. Well, I'm not sure where my mom saw it from, but I'm like, I want that. That's awesome. But yeah, I saw Tiger King, and that guy. Oh, Carol. Oh no, I know she was the one responsible for it. So yeah, I saw that.
All right,
So
I think you're in the same boat. A lot of people I've talked to have said Tiger King. But hey,
Carol
Fred,
Baskin.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, man, I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate you taking
Yeah,
taking the
man.
time to do this.
Of
We'll have you back. Let's talk more baseball next week or so.
course, yeah. It's no problem.
All right, Fred. I
All right,
appreciate
man.
it, man. Thank
It's
you.
no problem, man. Yes, sir. Take care.
Good night.
Later.